Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to talk to you about some really common limiting beliefs about money. Now, I'm going to tie this in with a couple other quick announcements, and I'm going to take you through like a little sort of itinerary here momentarily. We're going to talk about where some of these beliefs come from related to money, how they actually affect us, because there's a massive impact on our subconscious mind if we have a lot of limiting beliefs about money, specifically for the reason that our subconscious mind tries very hard to maintain its comfort zone. And so while our conscious mind may intend to make more money, our subconscious mind can profoundly hold us back from doing so. And I'm going to give you guys a little subconscious reprogramming tool at the end. But I also wanted to share, I watch a little bit about what goes on in the world and do some of my own research independent from, the mainstream stuff that we hear. And I know that there's been a huge impact, especially in the United States, just in terms of inflation. So we have two cool things that we're doing. One thing that we're doing beginning right now, so by the time you watch this video, is we are offering scholarship programs to people. So for partial scholarships, full scholarships to PDS, all that kind of stuff. But if you're interested in this and you're struggling at all, I know there's been a lot of sort of just hits to the economy over the past little while that can affect a lot of people. And if you just want to share a little bit about your situation and email info@personaldevelopmentschool.com. So info@personaldevelopmentschool.com. We are happy to learn more about you and to work with you on making sure that you can obtain access to content and tools for healing and really working through problems at a subconscious level you may be experiencing. And number two is something we're starting in our next quarter is we will be donating a percentage of proceeds to a number of different charities. So we're doing some research right now on which ones and making sure we check into them and sort of find the best alignment. But I would love to hear if any of you guys had any charities in particular that are close to your heart, near and dear to your heart, things that you would love for PDS to get involved in. And we're going to spend the next little bit just gathering all this information and picking, probably a new charity each month. So we'll have sort of like an ongoing list, but please share any ideas or anything that's important to you. And we're going to do some of our research and would love to hear anything that you think is important to donate in the comments below. So thank you for listening to my spiel here. Okay, so now what I'm going to take you through is we're going to talk a little bit about where these beliefs come from. So much of our programming around money at the subconscious level specifically comes from obviously anything we're exposed to through repetition over time. So for example, if you have parents growing up who constantly say things like, oh, we don't have enough money, well, then the repetition over that over time is going to become your own programming, most likely, unless you have something significant in your life that alters your course, where you get a lot of new repetition over time about something else. So that can have a huge impact. Number one, anything we see or is modeled to us in general is going to have a huge impact. Anything we hear, which is what I just said, and then anything that we have firsthand experiences around. So let's say you're in a family dynamic and then there's a big loss of money. You might believe as a result of that, like, oh, anytime you obtain something, you're likely to lose it and it's going to hurt, or something bad will happen. I hear a lot of these beliefs around people's sort of programming. And why this matters is because your subconscious mind, as I mentioned at the very beginning, is really working hard to maintain its comfort zone. It really desperately wants to avoid change. And so while your conscious mind can say, okay, I want to make more money, I want to make more money. If you have needs that are out of alignment with that, if you don't have any personality needs at a subconscious level that are driven towards that, and or if you're in a position where you show up in your life and your subconscious mind says, no, something bad will happen, or money causes conflict and chaos and arguments, and I don't want to threaten my relationships by making more money, or people will be jealous of me, or all these different beliefs I've heard from so many people over time. And everybody has different ones. But then what happens is your subconscious mind says no to your conscious mind. Your conscious mind says, let's go this way. Your subconscious says, nope, this way. And your conscious mind can't outwill or overpower your subconscious mind. It can, however, reprogram it. So I'm going to cover a few really common beliefs here. And I said 10, but I'm going to go through quite a bunch of common ones. If you want to do a deeper dive into this, you can check out for free for 7 days. The course is about 2 hours long. You can get through it. You can check out for free for 7 days, our whole course about this. And I was also recently featured on a talk with Google that Google put together. I'll put the link for the description in the description box below for that too. It was an amazing talk A wonderful woman named Sarin put it all together and organized it. It was fantastic. It was a number of guest speakers that talked about, gender equity in finance from different perspectives. You can take a look at that for free. And yeah, so just helpful resources that you may be able to use. But if you want to go into the reprogramming part at a deep level, check out that course. I'll put the link in the description box below for that as well. That will help you sort of repattern some of these things. So some of the really common ones are this: I can't save money. Guess where it comes from? What's modeled to you in childhood, right? If you saw a lot of spending and not a lot of saving, then through repetition, that's going to become your own program. I can't earn more money. I'm not good enough, or I'm not capable. Okay. Again, we can get that through a lot of messaging we receive from our external world for a number of different reasons. Or we can just see individuals that we're around struggle with that. And that can be the modeling that creates our own subconscious programming. I am undeserving of asking for more, or I am undeserving of having more. Very common limiting beliefs that are really important to pay attention to. Because what we'll do is our conscious mind will say, I want to raise, and our subconscious will sabotage having that conversation. So you can see the magnitude of impact that can take place, especially when this is happening over and over again in different forms across years, if not decades of our lives. If I value money, I am greedy or bad. I want to be really clear about something. Money will magnify who we are. Okay. So if you are somebody who is good-natured and cares about contribution, you'll want to contribute to more people's lives. If you are already somebody who struggles with greed and has painful patterns around that, then yeah, of course it can make you, that can become more magnified in different forms. But, to sort of block out one entire area of the 7 areas of our life as a holistic person and say, oh, this area is bad, this part of me is bad. Money touches everything. Every area of our life touches all the other areas, right? If we don't have good relationships in our life, it affects how we show up to make relationships in our career. If we are really struggling financially, then we're struggling in a way where we can't have healthy exchanges and take turns, hanging out around people, and maybe even like raise a family sometimes because we can't afford to. And that really affects our relationships. Like there's so many different ways that everything sort of spills into everything. And all of these 7 areas of our life are uniquely interconnected. And so it's really important that we allow ourselves to say, look, I don't have to put money as the very top of my priority list in life, but I would like to have an empowered relationship to each of the 7 areas. And if I don't, then that disempowered area that's one of the 7 areas is going to eventually disempower all the other areas. Another really clear example of this is if you're just too focused on only career and finance, and let's say you're not focused on physical health area of life, then maybe at some point in time, you have to go take time away from physical health because you're having a health issue and now it's affecting career and finance. So you'll see over time, everything will touch something else, and we can really mitigate these things by being proactive instead of having to learn things the hard way. Another really common belief that I'll hear is I don't have enough value. Okay. And sometimes, you've heard this old quote that's like our net worth is equal to our self-worth. And I don't think that if we're arrogant, that helps. I think that when we strip back a lot of limiting beliefs about ourselves, not being worthy, not mattering, not being good enough, not being lovable, when we reprogram a lot of those limiting beliefs at the subconscious level, we have a healthy sense of confidence and self-worth that's rooted and grounded, not sponsored from a place of, feeling arrogant. Another big one is I don't trust myself with money. I've seen this a lot over time. I've also seen really common ones. People will be jealous if I have more money. Money causes conflict between people. And especially if you're somebody with a high need for emotional connection in relationships, sometimes you'll really shy away from trying to make more money or, making that an empowered area of your life, because if you believe it's going to hurt my relationships, and if relationships are super meaningful to you, then you're not going to want to go there at all, not realizing that over time it can actually hurt your relationships to be disempowered in that area. And hopefully we have people who aren't valuing relationships just based on money. But of course, if I can't pay for my children's bills one day or something like that, then that's really, really stressful and will hurt the relationship dynamic. And the more stressed I am as a person, sometimes that spills out onto other people as well. So there's a whole bunch of other ones that are quite common. But I'll leave you with 1 or 2 more. Something bad will happen, I mentioned. And also, I don't know how to receive. Or I will feel guilty if I receive. So just pay attention to these things. Notice what comes up in your life. I'm a burden if I receive. And notice that we usually adopt these programs from childhood. They show up in different areas. And then they become a part of our behavior because our belief patterns at a subconscious level sponsor thought patterns and emotions, and then behaviors. And our behaviors are directly related to our beliefs. So if we, again, the really clear example is like, if I believe I'm not worthy of a raise, I'm not asking for the raise, even if I'm working so hard at work. Maybe I don't feel like I have that negotiating power because I don't believe that I'm worthy at a subconscious level. So this can really deeply impact us in so many different arenas. And it's really important to get in charge of this. So anyways, again, you can check this course out for free for 7 days. You can literally go through it in that time period. There's a workbook. The workbook goes into 40 really common beliefs. You can pluck out the ones that are really sort of holding you back. You can use the reprogramming tools, plug them in there, start stripping these things back, and then align with your needs, which is another part of this. So you can feel motivated and passionate about what you're doing and how you're making money in a way that's actually aligned with your truth. So anyways, check that all out. I hope you enjoy. If you want to dive into PDS scholarships, you can email info@personaldevelopmentschool.com at any time. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.